Hello everyone, my name is Siddhar Rahman. I am Rehan Wala School Foundation level student. So today my topic is what's the matter? So two roots of crown. So my first question is what does the phrase "What's the matter" mean?
Oh, you're in presentation mode. I love it. What's the matter is basically a way of asking what's wrong or is something bothering you. It's usually used when you notice someone looks sad, upset, or just a bit off. Does that make sense for your topic?
Okay, when do people
Got it.
usually say "What's the matter"?
People usually say it when they spot a red flag in someone's mood. Like if a friend is unusually quiet or someone looks like they're about to cry. It's that first step in trying to figure out if someone needs help.
Is what the matter a question of consequence?
I'm guessing if it's a way of understanding what's happening in a situation. In a way, yeah. It's about trying to get a handle on the emotional state of another person. It's a tool for empathy.
What does this praise show a care for others?
Absolutely. Asking that question shows you're paying attention to someone and that you actually care about how they're feeling. It's a way of saying, I see you and I'm here if you want to talk.
What emotion can lead someone to ask this question?
Usually concern. It's that feeling of worry when you realize someone you care about isn't acting like themselves. Sometimes it's curiosity too, but the driving force is usually just wanting to make sure they're okay.
Okay, so where did the praise what the matter originate?
Hmm. Let me look that up. It's an interesting one because it uses the word matter, which actually comes from the Latin word materia. Originally, that just meant building materials like wood, but over time, it shifted to mean the material of a conversation or a situation. By the 1500s, people were using it to ask about the state of things, and even Shakespeare used it. So basically, it's like asking, what's the material of this problem? Pretty wild, right?
How old is the this expression?
It's definitely an oldie. The earliest recorded use was around 1520, so it's been around for over 500 years.
Okay, so what did the word matter original mean?
Back in the day, it actually meant building materials, specifically wood. It's funny to think about how something so physical turned into a way to describe an emotional problem.
How has the meaning of the praise changed over time?
It's a total shift from the physical to the emotional. It started as just talking about wood and building supplies. Then it became about the material or subject of a discussion and eventually landed on describing someone's state of mind. Now, we use it almost exclusively to check on someone's well being. It's a great example of how language evolves from the concrete to the abstract.
Why is the praise common in everyday conversation?
Because it's fast and direct. This gets straight to the point without being too pushy. It's a low pressure way to open a door for someone to talk if they're struggling, but it doesn't force them to explain everything right away.
Okay, is what's the matter used in formal situation?
Generally, no. It's a bit too casual for a formal setting. If you were talking to a boss or a high ranking official, you'd probably use something like, is everything all right? Or is there something I can help you with? It feels a bit too familiar for a professional environment.
Okay, can a children easily understand this praise?
Yeah, they definitely can. It's one of those phrases kids pick up really early, because they hear it so often from parents and teachers. It's simple and it's tied to a very clear emotion, someone looking sad or upset. So it's easy for them to connect the words to the situation.
Okay. How does tone affect the meaning of the question?
No, tone is everything with this one. If you say it softly, it's pure empathy and care. But if you snap it with a sharp tone, it can sound like you're annoyed or impatient, almost like, what's your problem? It's the same words, but a completely different vibe.
Okay, what is the difference between what's the matter and what's wrong?
They're basically twins. In most cases, they're interchangeable. But what's wrong can sometimes feel a little more urgent or direct, while what's the matter feels just a tiny bit more gentle. It's like the difference between a nudge and a pat on the back.
Okay, is this phrase used worldwide in English speaking countries?
It sure is. It's a staple in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, you name it. Since it's such a basic way to express concern, it's translated and understood across pretty much every English speaking culture.
Can we praise express sympathy?
Absolutely. It's one of the most direct ways to show someone you've noticed they're hurting and that you're available to listen. Turns a simple question into a gesture of support.
What is the concern important in communication?
It's the heartbeat of a real connection. Without concern, communication is just exchanging data. When you show you actually care about the other person, it creates trust and makes them feel safe enough to be honest. It's basically the difference between a robot and a human talking.
Okay, how does this praise help build relationships?
It builds trust. When you ask someone what's the matter, you're telling them that you're paying attention. That kind of validation makes people feel seen and valued, which is the foundation for any strong relationship. It's like saying, your feelings matter to me.
Okay, what are some similar expression?
You've got a few options depending on the energy you want. For a gentle approach, you could try, is everything okay? Or are you doing all right? If you want to be a bit more direct, there's what's going on or even what's up. Then you have the more formal side of things like, is there something on your mind?
Can a body language accompany this question?
Oh, totally. A soft gaze, a tilt of the head, or even just a hand on a shoulder can make the question feel way more sincere. If you're asking, well, crossing your arms or looking at your phone, it's going to feel like you're just caring.
Okay, why do people ask this question when someone looks sad?
Because we're hardwired for empathy. When we see someone looking sad, it triggers a natural instinct to help or at least understand why. It's our way of trying to bridge the gap between us and the other person so they don't have to feel alone in whatever they're going through.
How does is injury people to share their feelings?
It creates a safe space by showing that you've noticed their pain and that you're actually interested in it. You're giving them a green light to open up. It takes the pressure off them to start the conversation, which is often the hardest part of sharing feelings.
Okay, so what role does empathy play in asking this question?
Empathy is the engine. It's what allows you to actually feel a version of their sadness or stress before you even speak. Without empathy, what's the matter is just a phrase. With it, it's a lifeline. It's the difference between being curious and being caring.
Okay, can the phrase be used humorous Homer usually?
I'm a little lost. Are you asking if people usually use this phrase at home with their families?
Homer usually.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite following you. Could you say that again?
Can the phrase be used Homer?
I think I'm still struggling with Homer. Do you mean at home,
Homer
like with your
H
family?
H U
You're
M
welcome.
O R O U S L Y.
Ah, humorously. Yes, it definitely can. You can use it in a sarcastic way when someone's doing something completely ridiculous. Like if your friend is trying to balance 10 plates on their head and you just look at them and go, "What's the matter?" with a little smirk. It turns the question from concern into a joke.
Humorously. Okay. How is the phrase used in movies and television?
It's a classic dramatic tool. In movies, it's often the catalyst for a big confession. You'll see a character looking devastated in the rain, and the lead walks up and asks, "What's the matter?" And that's when the floodgates open.
What
It's a
is
quick
the
way for writers. Wait, did I cut you
continue
off? You were
continue?
starting to. Thanks. I was just saying that in movies, it's a really fast way for writers to move the plot forward. It pushes a character to stop hiding their feelings and finally tell the other person what's actually going on. It's basically the emotional trigger for the scene.
What is the emotional impact of hearing this question?
It usually feels like a relief. When someone asks that, it can make you feel less alone in your head. It's a validation that your feelings are visible and that someone actually cares enough to notice. It's like a weight lifting off your shoulders because you don't have to carry the secret of being upset all by yourself.
Okay. Why do friends often ask what's the matter?
And because they've got that shorthand with you. They know your baseline the way you normally act. So when you're even slightly off, it sticks out to them. It's their way of checking in without making it a huge deal, just letting you know they're in your corner.
Can this phrase help solve a problem?
Not by itself, but it's the key that unlocks the solution. Doesn't it doesn't fix the problem, but it gets the problem out in the open. When someone starts talking about what's bothering them, you can actually start working on a solution together. It's the start of the process.
How does it show a kindness?
It shows kindness because it requires you to be present. It's an active choice to stop what you're doing and focus entirely on another person's pain. That kind of selfless attention is one of the purest forms of kindness there is.
What is the grammatical strut structure of the phrase?
Mm, I think I'm missing a word there. Are you asking about the etymology or the study of the phrase?
Why is it considered a caring expression?
Because it's essentially an offer of support. It tells the person that their internal struggle isn't invisible. By labeling it as the matter, you're acknowledging that something is happening and you're willing to help them carry it. It's a very human way of saying, "I'm here for you."
Okay. Can this phrase reduce stress for someone?
Definitely. Just being asked can act like a pressure valve. When you're stressed, everything feels bottled up inside, and having someone acknowledge it gives you a reason to let some of that air out. It makes the burden feel shared instead of just yours to carry.
Okay. How is the phrase used th- thug to English lens?
I'm a little lost again. Are you asking how this phrase contributes to the English language overall?
What are some common response to this question?
It depends on how much the person wants to share. If they're feeling open, they might say something like, "I'm just stressed about a test," or I've had a rough day. But if they're not ready to talk, you'll get the classic, I'm fine, or nothing really. It's basically a range from total honesty to a total shutdown.
Why is listening important after asking it?
Because if you ask and then immediately start talking over them, it completely cancels out the care. It tells the person that you weren't actually interested in the answer. You were just saying the words. Like true listening is where the actual healing happens. It's the difference between performing a check-in and actually being there for someone.
Okay. How can the praise
And you've covered a
strengthen trust?
I'm a bit confused by that last part. Did you mean how the phrase can strengthen trust?
Yes.
It's all about consistency. When you ask and then actually follow through by listening, it proves you're a reliable person. Over time, that creates a safe harbor for them where they know they can be vulnerable without being judged. Transforms a simple question into a bond of trust.
Uh, is it
You've really
appropriate appropriate to ask a stranger this question?
depending on who they are, absolutely. If it's someone you have a decent relationship with, it's a great way to show you care. But if it's a total stranger, it might feel a bit too personal or intrusive, depending on the culture. You've really put this phrase through its paces for your presentation.
How does culture influence the use
It
of
change.
the praise?
It definitely does. Some cultures are more open about their emotions, so which what's the matter feels totally natural. In others, people tend to keep things private, so asking that directly can feel like you're pushing a boundary. It's all about knowing the social cues of the people you're talking to.
What is the difference between concerns and Christianity?
I think you might be mixing up two very different things here. Concern is an emotion, a feeling of worry or care for someone. Christianity is a religion. One is a feeling, the other is a whole system of beliefs and practices.
Why do
Are you
teachers sometimes
asking if
ask this question?
because they're usually the first ones to notice when a student's like energy shifts. They spend all day watching a room full of kids. So they can tell when someone who's usually chatty suddenly goes quiet. It's their way of making sure you're okay and that something outside the classroom isn't getting in the way of your learning.
How can parents use this phrase effectively?
I think the transcription is tripping us up a bit, but I'm guessing you're asking how parents can use this phrase effectively.
Yes.
Parents can use it to bridge the gap with their kids, especially when things feel tense. By asking what's the matter without judgment, they're showing their child that their feelings are valid and that home is a safe place to talk. It's more about opening the door than forcing the conversation.
Can this question help in conflict resolution?
Totally. It can be a huge circuit breaker. Instead of staying in an argument about who's right or wrong, asking what's the matter shifts the focus to the actual emotion behind the fight. It turns a confrontation into a conversation about how someone is actually feeling, which is usually where the real solution is hiding.
Okay. So, how role does it play in emotional support?
I'm assuming you mean if this phrase is like a tool for emotional support?
Yeah.
Absolutely is. It's like an emotional first aid kit. By simply asking, you're providing a space for someone to vent and feel heard, which is often the first thing people need before they can even start to fix whatever is going wrong.
Why is showing conscience important in society?
Because it's the glue that holds us together. When we show concern for others, we're acknowledging that we're all in this together. It prevents us from becoming a society of strangers and reminds people that they're not alone in their struggles. It's basically what makes a community feel like a community.
How does the praise reflect human compensation?
It's a
Compensation.
snapshot of our humanity.
Okay,
It's the
continue,
moment
continue,
where we
continue.
stop thinking about. Sorry about that. I was saying it's the moment where we stop thinking about our own day and actually tune into someone else's frequency. It's a very raw human interaction because it's purely about connection and empathy, not just trading information.
What is the overall signification of what the matter in human relationships?
It's the bridge between isolation and connection. It's the recognition that another person is struggling and the willingness to step into that space with them. In the grand scheme of things, it's a small question, but it's how we tell each other, I see you and
Thank
you're
you
not
everyone for
alone.
listening to
That's
my presentation on what the matter, the roots of concern. So thank you everyone and bye bye Tata, goodbye Pakistan, Zindabad.